We have David Copeland, Director of Sales for Midcontinent, and we have so much fun trying to keep up with you guys because every trade show, every event, okay, what did they come up with? And I get this list of things. There's pressers, there's images, there's data sheets, there's this and that. And I'm just sitting there going, okay, fine. It's time to get a PhD in Midcontinent or True Blue Power again because that's about what it takes. You guys are busy. NPI yesterday, a bunch of news, some really interesting observations on where Midcontinent is going, where True Blue Power is going. If you could, let's talk about first, what's new?
Well, a lot of great things happening at Midcontinent. I call it, when I give people tours of our facility, they're very impressed that we not only take care of the legacy things in avionics and instruments and power solutions, but we also are into lithium, as you know, with True Blue Power. So that division and all of our new products really support customers that we've had for 54 years, clear to today and into tomorrow with the innovative designs and our engineering team and all the things that we support for the industry. So, we've taken it really from the experimental aviation group and really through the commercial. We're really pushing into the commercial with some of our new products, like our TC2000, which was introduced. That really takes us up to being able to power, over 100 USBs on a commercial platform with just one single unit. So that was a really exciting thing that we've done as we push into and we listen to customers, and with the super success of not only our 102, which we lead the market in that, but also in our 202 and our single and dual ANC configurations. That really takes us to a new level of support in that regional and the commercial airline that we've had that success in. So this product right here, the TC2000, really kind of sets the signature of that in a 2,000 watt platform from a 115 to 28 volt platform. So
it gives you a tremendous amount of adaptability to platform.
Right. Also into a lot of new markets, newer markets, is expanding the dynamics of our company and who we're talking to. Our distributors and our customers and just talking to all those people through the years, we want to keep expanding that footprint in the marketplace, and as you know, Todd is very supportive of expanding not only the True Blue Power products, but supporting our customers for so many years.
Oh, he's intent on nothing less than world domination. Let's tell it like it is.
Well, I wouldn't say that, but I think having a strong foothold and supporting our customers, and I think one of the things that is at the root of all this is not only innovation, but our customer experience, because what we want to do is reinforce the fact it doesn't matter if you fly a 172 or we're supporting you on a 787 with a product like this. We want to drive home the fact that it doesn't matter who you are, you're number one with us.
Outstanding. Tell me a little bit about the modus operandi right now. You've staken a claim in some interesting technologies, and I'm sure you've researched them carefully. I'm sure it's been one of those heart and soul discussions, but I can imagine, especially when you decided to really work within the lithium segment, which, as you know, had its good times and its bad times. What is the mindset? What is the process by which Midcontinent True Blue Power innovates? Where does this come from? How do you develop?
Well, I really think a lot of that innovation comes from Todd. Again, is his drive to lead that marketplace. And as we started in this almost over 10 years ago now in developing that technology of lithium ion in the marketplace, we found the safest chemistry, the best technology, most researched, and then we proved it internally that it could be with our TS-835, of that being so successful and over 1 million hours of flying and proving itself with zero resistance. We've been educating around the world. I think our
that's
lithium,
been key. You've done a phenomenal job in educating the public.
Right, Lithium 101, which is on our website, is critical to that for the people that only have a reminiscent of some of the past and the safety concerns there. We really upped that game into educating, and we continue to, and we've scheduled many of those around the world this year through AEA and through EAA and all those organizations that allow us that platform to reinforce that. So I think the whole True Blue Power team and the company and leadership has really gotten behind that technology, and we spread it. And as you've seen with Bell and Textron and the 505, and also with Robinson and the R66 and the STCs we've got, like on the Dash 8, on the Caravan, and on the Bonanza, we just continue to do that. And we're working with over 100 OEMs. They're either looking at those products, testing those products, or flying those products towards either a TC or an STC on those platforms. So, what we thought was going to be a crowded network it's hard to chase a leader. They're all looking to do that, but we've really kind of proven that we can make it happen. And of course, with the regulatory authorities, their comfort and their idea and the education that we've been able to reinforce to them, and the testing that we have exceeded in every parameter with the lithium products has really helped us excel that and the credibility of the products.
One of the other things that I've watched you do is support aspects of the industry where product support, legacy support and so forth were critically needed, and in some cases had disappeared, and you folks have stepped in. Excuse me. That's a critical issue for folks that are trying to keep certain boxes, certain products alive. Tell us a little bit about your work in that area.
Well, I think it kind of goes back to my theme of customer first.
Yeah.
And the customer experience.
Even when it started with somebody else's customer?
It doesn't even matter. If you have an installation,
okay.
We've got over 28 years in each capacity. We've got both on the True Blue Power side, we've got technical support 24/7 for that, and we also have on the MCIA side, on that support of avionics and instruments, we've got technical instrument expertise. We've got one-on-one support that we can travel with if we need to for installations and support on site, which a lot of people, plus you pick up the phone, you call us, you're going to get that person. You're going to be put into a call tree and all that. We have it both at our Wichita and our Van Nuys facilities to offer that 24/7 support. So if you are installing a new avionics suite and you can't get the tilt right on something, or if it's something that we don't even manufacture or support, we can still try to assist them with the expertise that we have, not only in our labs, but in our shop and in our production facilities. So like you said, many of the people in the MRO business and production have kind of shied away from that. We've upped our game, and we think it's really important.
Tell us about the Bendix King agreement.
Well, the Bendix King agreement is very exciting because this will be our 44th year of supporting Bendix King, way back in the Bendix days, and I remember going to Olathe.
Bendix, yeah.
That's exactly right. And what is now, I think it's a kindergarten area. That used to be their facilities, and also as that has grown. And I've flown a lot with those products around the world, and they really are still a stablemate in that avionics arena. And what we've done is we've been asked to partner with them to support their not only legacy but some of their new products, and to sell both products and to support those as one of the 4 facilities that were picked of, I think there's 13 around the world. So of course they vetted and they looked at who had done the best and who continues to support the product, and we were selected, and we're very proud to be a partner with them.
That had to be an interesting process. Some of the folks that you work with, for instance, I'm dear friends with the Robinson family.
Right.
Back early days with Frank, and of course with Kurt and the gang now and so forth. You get something done with them, that's an accomplishment. Frank and now Kurt, they're just really tough people to impress. Bell, not exactly falling off the turnip truck yesterday either. They're very tough customers, possibly some of the toughest customers you'll find. And when you're able to put that together, or deals with BK and so forth, that's a big deal. And more important, it's just got to be one of those things where you kind of look at it both ways and go, is it really worth it? Because these are tough customers.
Well, we always think it's worth it. We've been, those customers for us, the ones you mentioned, Bell and Robinson and Bendix, or all the others that we have around the world, we treat them all as the #1 customer because they all have something to offer the industry. I think what we do is we provide products that not only are innovative, but we support those products in that relationship. I really think it comes down to that relationship. If they come to us with a project or an opportunity or to fulfill a need that they have on their platforms, we're the first to say yes, because we have a on-site, as you know, you probably visited a facility and seen our engineering team. We have a great marketing team, we've got a great sales network around the world to support those products, and that's very unique, that not only we build it, we support it, but then we can service it in our facility. So I think that all plays into it. Plus, we're a pretty agile organization. Just under 200 employees makes us 200 employees, allows us that flexibility to take a project to TSO and to certification and beyond much quicker. Some of the companies that some of these people that you've mentioned have dealt with in the past can't even get through the paperwork in 8 months, and we can sometimes have a TSO in that amount of time.
How is your relationship these days with this latest generation of FAA and the latest generation of certification folks? Because it's obvious that something is changing. It's changing slowly in a few areas and much faster in others.
Right.
And with the amount of work you have to have done, you have to have noticed the kind of change that's occurring and actually been a part of it. What do you think of the current efforts by FAA and as to how they affect your certification efforts?
Well, we're involved with the certification authorities around the world. It's just not the FAA, but EASA and TCCA and all the other ones, all of the different things that are happening, whether it's in Canada or in Europe or in Latin America or in Australia. And not only the talent that we have in our offices, but being a part of the organizations like GAMA and MBAA and AEA, EAA, all those support organizations and all the information we get through them and with them as partners allows us to really speak and support them. And a lot of the things that like Rick from AEA would be working with, or GAMA, Pete and his organization, we kind of incorporate some of those things and support them to assist us in not only educating them about lithium and supporting STC projects around the world, but regulatory things like the privatization, we're very active in that. What's next? And after, and working with the AEA board now, getting a little bit more expansive look at what's behind the scene to support organizations in the avionics industry, which we're very involved with, of course, and the changes that are coming, and to see the countries, with the ADSB things that are going on now and what's next after that. So I think there's a lot of change. I think that it really comes down to the fact that we're very actively involved with those organizations and we support it. And we also educate them because there's a lot of change. There's a lot of new people in the FAA and these other regulatory authorities. And just when you think it's solid, it changes, as you know. That's what this industry is all about. But we're kind of that solid source. I like to tell a lot of our customers that when you come through our lab, that it's 25 and a half years average that technician has been on the bench at our facility.
Oh, wow.
That's a separator. So it's also the fact that a large percentage of our employees and staff have been there well over 10 years. So that consistency and continuity with the educating and seeing the same faces and developing those back to relationships helps us gain some ground. And also, we're not in this alone. We're to help the people overseas to gain. We're not in this just by ourselves. We're help everybody in this marketplace.
By the way, before I forget, obviously you've had a bit good grief. This desert air is a killer. You've been a part of the news in accepting responsibilities with AEA. With everything that you're doing, how do you find the time?
Well, I'm going off one board and going on to another.
So okay.
And so I was careful about that. But when they sent out the application, I did meet with Todd and the organization of his family, not only John and Todd, but what we want to do is carry on that support of a fantastic organization like AEA. And when Paul and I talked about it, and before I even filled out the application, and David as well talked about it, what can I bring? I'm not going to, just sit on a board. I want to be...
That board is not filled by people who don't do anything.
No.
That is an active,
working
board.
Right.
Period.
And I think you'll see from not only the show floor here, a sold out show floor, but in the future of what we're trying to do of educate, bring in new people to the organization, support our members that we have now, as well as listen. And I think that's one of the things as a new board member that I've committed to is to listen and gather information. And then I can't go through this interview without saying that we really need to bring more people into this avionics. I mean, one of the things that I've already been asked to support is career growth, because people coming out of the service or coming out of school, we need to continue to not only backfill those positions at Mid-Continent, but everyone I've talked to here is short of technicians with all the things, all the shops, businesses on the uptick. So it's all very positive right now, of which you've been in this long enough as I have to realize, that roller coaster ride, we're on the way up and things are really, really exciting for AEA. So I think they look at people possibly like myself to help do that.
Outstanding. And finally, what's on the horizon for both Mid-Continent and True Blue Power? Where do you guys go from here?
Well, I think we just continue to listen to our customers. I think both on the support side of it, we're going to grow our capabilities and our focus of MRO, which is a big growing piece of our marketplace, and take more of a solid foot on that, and not only with the Bendix King business, but more capabilities possibly in the regional and commercial line. I think the True Blue Power division is exploding with fantastic opportunities for not only power supplies and leading that industry, but power inversion and conversion. It could go a lot of different directions. I can't really tell you what's going on in Skunk Works, but we've got over 20 engineers working feverishly with a lot of our partners here and abroad to develop that. And also, I have to say, the OEM network and the MRO business is, we keep being tasked to do more things, which is awesome. And I can't thank our customers enough for that trust and the credibility and support that we have around the world. It's exciting to have that and to be able to provide these great products and make a difference in the marketplace. That's what we're about.
Outstanding. If I can ask one more question real quick. What do you think of the unmanned market right now?
Well, I think, I just attended the GAMA meeting in Washington, D.C., and a lot of talk about the UAVs and the drone market and the unmanned, and some of our partners that we've talked to, are really, I think that's a totally new market, and where does that fit with regulation, I think is one right off the bat. Who's going to regulate that? Nobody knows. So we have our thoughts on that as well as where we think it fits best, because we don't need to reinvent regulations for this marketplace. I think there is a place where it fits, whether it's 23 or 27 or what is, I don't think we need to recreate that. I think a lot of it we've learned most recently about transportation and the questions there. I think that transportation network on the ground is going to learn a lot from the air, what we've learned with regulation. So I think that's one that we need to get through, is define where that regulation is going to fall. I think our company is prime to support it, because the things that we offer are more efficient, they're lighter weight, they're less cost, and we can produce them in high volume. And I think that market is going to be high volume. It is the future, and we're not going to forget about the legacy products, but we're heavily involved with some of those more robotic type things that are coming for the future. I really do think it is. As Todd stated many years ago, and he had on the horizon, we're going all electric. And if you look at Boeing and you look at Siemens and you look at Airbus, all of them are involved in all electric aircraft. That's where we're going. And you can see it from the power supplies, that's where we're going. The lighter weight, the more reliable, long-term value propositions.
And all this doesn't disappoint you in the slightest?
Not at all.
I'm sure. David Copeland, Director of Sales for Mid-Continent Instruments Avionics. We sure appreciate your time. I really love the fact that I see you on the guest list, because you're such a good interview.
Thank you.
And more important, there's never enough time to cover everything there is with you guys, so we'll ask you back in the not too distant future.
Let's do it.
All righty. Thank you very much, sir.
Aero-News Network's coverage of the 61st Annual AEA International Convention and Trade Show, live from Las Vegas, is brought to you in part by the following sponsors.
Are you stall smart? Ever since Orville and Wilbur took to the skies, pilots have been taught that the more airspeed you have, the better off you are. But over the last 100 plus years, we've learned that's not always the case. Take stalls, for example. The common belief is that if you have sufficient airspeed, the aircraft won't stall. The fact is, an airfoil always stalls at the same critical angle of attack in relation to the relative airflow, regardless of airspeed, configuration, or weight. Learn more at aspenavionics.com.
It's called Airtext Plus. The mobile office is now a true, cost-effective win-win reality, because being available and part of the communication chain keeps you in control. Visit us at www.airtext.aero for more information and get started staying in touch today.